Hi everyone, welcome. Hi everyone, welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Kathy. Why do I have a circle? That is weird. Hold on. I don't like that. What is up with the circle nonsense? Hold on one second. All right. I'm having technical issues. 1 second. This is weird. Sorry, hold on. I don't want to be in a circle. But I don't know how to stop it. Let me turn the music off first before we do that. I don't know how this circle thing happened. I mean, I could be in a circle. I mean, it really doesn't matter if I'm in a circle. But I think I just need to go to some settings here. Give me a second. Weird things. See what happens when I touch stuff I'm not supposed to touch. This is so funny. Okay, hold on. There has to be a way to fix this. Or we'll just stay in a circle for all I know. I can figure it out later. Settings. Okay, well, I guess I'm in a circle today. I'm just trying. No, that's not it. Okay, we're gonna be in a circle. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know why I'm in a circle. I don't know why. I think I touched something that I wasn't supposed to touch. Yes, this is starting out great. Let's see. I really don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, we'll be in a circle tonight. How about that idea? I really have no idea how that happened. So let me see who's here. I'll try to figure it out in between. Oh, you can watch me on replay. I do not mind at all. And I will watch him on replay. Oh, the clocks in the UK go back tonight, so it means Aiden is on at 1 a.m. UK time, and your stream starts at 1:30. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for being here, and thanks for being a replay crew. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I need a backstage person. I swear to you, anybody want to volunteer to be my backstage person? Because doing this all myself is just crazy. Trying to figure out why I'm in a circle instead of in a square. Media assets. I feel like it should be like right here. And then there's probably a super tiny setting that I have no idea how to fix. It's still circles though. Everybody's in a circle. Okay, well, big circle, little circle. Now I'm gone. Now I'm little. I'm bigger. No matter what, it's a circle. However I do this, it's a circle. Okay, let me see. Hi, you guys. Hi, Carolina, Hortada, Ruby Ray, Barbara, Justine. Welcome. Classy and sassy. And, oh, thank you. Okay. Hi, Stace. Welcome, everybody. Oh, somebody said Aiden is Sunday night now. So is he? I know they had their Halloween party last night, but I didn't see anything today. All right. Well, welcome to Saturday Live. I had to do a later Saturday. Usually I do about 11 o'clock Pacific time Saturday Live, but I had an appointment today that I had to go to. And now I'm just going to be in a circle. Although that maybe if my cat gets in the way back there, you won't see as much of him as you normally do. So a couple things today. Hold on. I have to mute myself. Somebody sent a complaint letter that they heard me swallowing my water. So hold on 1 second. I don't know. Did you hear me cough? Did you hear me? This isn't muting. Now it is. All right. Sorry if you're the complaint person and you heard me cough and swallow. Anyway, All right. So, a couple things tonight. I wanted to talk about, we talked about in the members live last night a little bit about this stuff. But yeah, somebody will complain that I'm coughing. I know I didn't, I looked at it and I was like, oh, never mind. Oh, well, punishment for the complainer, right? Punishment for the complainer. Sorry, people. I know we all have our things that annoy us. You know, some people hate tapping. Some people hate when they hear people chew. Some people hate when they hear people breathe. I can't please everybody and I'm not perfect. Imagine that. Just like Lauren, Matthias is not perfect according to her husband. So here you go. So anyway, I'm gonna just, well, I wanted to do really quick. Lori Vallow Daybell has been my channel's main case that I followed forever, and she was really snarky in court yesterday. So I wanted to play her snarky. It's very short. Snarkiness in court with Judge Beresky. Man, that guy is a saint. I would be so over her by now. Oh, I am, but the way she acts. I know, it's like the weirdest cough. It's like it's like right here. It's a tickle. And then it just coughs. And then it's like such a tickle that you can't make it stop. But it's not down here. It's not in my lungs. It's like literally right here. Hi, Juicy Jules. Halloween day soon. Hi, everybody. Oh, good. It's nice to see all you guys. I'm glad you're here. Maybe this is a good time. I don't know. I usually do Saturday lives earlier in the day. But today I'm in a circle. It's really bugging me for some reason, but I won't keep saying it. I'm like hyper focused on the fact that I'm in a circle and I have no idea how to change a setting. I know it's a setting. I know it is. But let's see. Anyway, Laura, yeah, she thinks she is she's like really, Lori still thinks she's the goddess. I swear to you, she thinks she's the goddess of all goddesses, and she's still devoted to Chad, and he ain't saying nothing about her as far as I can tell in his letters. So, no, Lauren isn't perfect. Dr. John told her last night, and she was on board with it. Oh, good. All right, so let's just get to Lori and get her out of the way, because I have a lot of stuff I want to say about last night's premiere with Dr. John and Lauren, who came out of the dark into the light and made a premiere, not a live, a premiere. It was edited, and they went over a whole bunch of psychological aspects of the case, but a lot of it to me has some really interesting points that we have to look at from the side of justice, freedom of speech, and what stalking is and what it isn't, and what he downplayed about that part of it. So let me get Lori. Up for you. We can start our evening watching Lori Vallow Daybell, and maybe while we're watching it, I can fix my ding circle. All right, 1 second. Where is she? Let me get her up here for you. I have everything else up, but Lori is not in my queue here. And, you know, she just thinks she just thinks she's something special. I can only imagine how she is behind bars with the other people in there. Okay. Let me share my screen with you. We'll start with that. And then we will move on.
I put out this video.
What the f is in your mug?
And immediately it started racking up millions of views. Why? Probably something to do with the thousands.
hold on. Is this Courtroom Insider? Hold on, that's not what I wanted to watch. I just wanted to watch her in court. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, my bad. Let's go back. Let's go back. We want to just see her in court. Try again.
CR 2021-001704 and CR 2022-001242. State of Arizona versus Vallow Daybell. Is Ms. Daybell on? Is that the Joab Fedorf? Mr. Lund, could I have you turn your camera off just to not be a distraction? All right, I called the case. Let's have the state announce.
Trina Kay on behalf of the state.
And defendant.
Vallow Daybell for the defense.
All right, I can hear everyone fine. This is the time set for restitution hearing. Have there been any agreements?
Your Honor, I am not sure. I was going to check with Ms. Daybell if she would stipulate to anything. I do have one correction in the documents on bait stamp 101133. What we've learned is that the gas receipts that were provided are not all of the gas receipts, and so that's why we had done the mileage, but we forgot to remove the gas receipts themselves. So we should actually remove
square.
$348.98, which would make the total restitution request $8,600.54.
Okay, I'll ask the defendant, are you stipulating to any restitution?
Your Honor, on Wednesday night, I did receive those Bates numbers that were supposed to be given to me from my advisory council. They mailed them to me. I just got them. I was able to review those. Those ended at Bates number 101161. And yesterday I was informed by my advisory council that the state sent over one more document on Tuesday by email to my advisory council. And I have not seen that document. It's Bates number 101162. It is my understanding, since I talked to my advisory council yesterday, that that document is a document. They kind of explained what it was to me. And so my understanding is, and although I'm aware that counseling, thank you. Although I'm aware that counseling costs can be included in restitution, this document turned over by the state is an Excel spreadsheet totaling $3,147 in counseling. There are no invoices from doctors or insurance companies to my knowledge. So the document in and of itself seems to be insufficient. I haven't actually seen it. However, based on how my trials were conducted, since experience tells me that regardless of what I say or what anybody else says, you're going to order it, I am willing to stipulate today. It is my understanding that I have already been ordered by this court to pay over $534,000 in fees, in fines, surcharges, and court fees. So you can add Ms. Woodcock's total of $12,096.97 of restitution to my tab.
And Your Honor, with that correction, it would actually be $11,747.99.
Hold on, 11,740.
$7.99.
All right, Ms. Daybell, you're stipulating to pay restitution to Kay Woodcock in the amount of $11,747.99. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Did any drugs, alcohol, or medication in the last 24 hours that would affect your ability to have this, to make this decision?
Have I been on any drugs, Your Honor? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking, have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand or make this decision today?
Is Your Honor aware that I am in prison? I have no access to any of those things. So no, the answer is no, I have not.
Thank you.
I wanted to address your question. I found it. I asked Gemini, who is AI, let me get it up here, about the JPay money because you may be surprised. I just asked, let me get back there. Gemini, Google's AI, says Lori Vallow has been ordered to pay restitution. And generally, when money is deposited into an inmate's trust account, which is what JPay is often used for, a percentage of those funds is garnishable by the correctional facility and applied towards court-ordered financial obligations, including restitution. The specific percentage and rules for garnishment are determined by the policies of the state's Department of Corrections where she is incarcerated. In some systems, a percentage, 50% in one state's policy found, of money deposited into an inmate's account, including through services like JPay, is automatically taken to satisfy court-ordered restitution or fines. That's what AI says. So, excellent question. Really good question. Send Lori money. Send Lori money so Kay can get a restitution. There you go. Stacy knows. Okay, back to this nonsense over here. Lori is nonsense.
For answering the question. Has anyone promised you anything in exchange for your agreement to pay this restitution?
No,
Has anyone forced you, threatened you, or coerced you to get you to agree to pay this restitution?
only my trials, Your Honor, coerced me.
All right. The court finds that your agreement is knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily made. It's ordered that you pay $11,747.99 in restitution to Kay Woodcock. The restitution would take priority over any other fines and fees that have been imposed. And it's ordered that that restitution be paid out at the maximum rate allowable out of any prison account. Ms. Kay, do you anticipate any other restitution requests?
Your Honor, we are still awaiting restitution requests from Brandon Boudreau. I know that he's been busy with work and he hasn't got all of those documents together. When I get those, I will submit them to advisory council and to Ms. Daybell's investigator, who seems to be able to get that to her much easier. And just for the record, Ms. Woodcock is still ongoing counseling, so there could be subsequent requests.
Well, the court retains jurisdiction over the matter of restitution for the period that the defendant is serving a sentence. So I'm not setting any further hearings at this time. We'll wait and see if any requests for hearing come in. All right, thank you. We'll be at recess.
Thank you.
All right, let's get rid of her. I may take that down. All right, so Lori, snarky as can be, as usual, well, the way it's gone, but that is kind of cool. I didn't know that they would take percentage of her money that was put on her book. So no more days out for her. Nope. How they double down on stuff when we all know the wrong. Okay, so Lauren Matthias, you guys, there is a song on Twitter that was written about Lauren. It's so funny. Let me play part of it. I'm muted. You guys couldn't hear me, right? Sorry. God, I'm all over today. There is a freaking song on Twitter. Let me get it. I'm just going to play part of it so you guys can hear it. Let me see if I can get it over to my computer. Let's find it. Someone wrote it. It's kind of funny. But let me find it. Let me get over there to Twitter on this thing. Before we get started on the other part of this whole ridiculous, ridiculous. Let's just put it that way. That last night was, in my opinion, ridiculous. Trying to shovel shit. I mean, unbelievable. Okay, this is on Twitter or X or whatever it is now. Let me share. I have to share my screen with you. Okay. Okay, one more time. Share screen. Window. I wasn't going to do this one, but someone had just sent me this, so I wanted to share this with you if you haven't heard it. So it's not coming up the way I would need it to for my phone to hear. It's not coming up. Let me just play it from my phone. Let's make it easy. You don't have to see it anyway to hear it. It's nice music.
Oh, Lauren Matthias, queen of the true crime scene. With a microphone in hand and a story so keen, she dives into darkness, uncovers the mean, but behind the camera, oh, what a sight, whispering secrets in the dead of the night. Trash talking friends.
It's hilarious.
She calls it up close to the victim's kin. Promised them justice, let the backstabbing begin. Text fly like daggers, sharp as a pin. Oh, that web of lies, tangled and deep, deceit in her words, secrets she keeps, Lauren spinning her yarn. Oh, the truth starts to creep.
It's funny. It goes on and on. Lauren Matthias. Too hilarious. Ridiculous. People are, Lauren thought that this was going to be a good thing, doing her 9-hour live. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay. So welcome to Left Undone again. Thank you for joining. And I want to talk about this because it really means a lot to me to have integrity in the true crime community. And we are discussing public actions, like I've said before, and documents, and this isn't legal advice. So the rules are simple. Opinions are welcome. Personal attacks are not welcome here. My mods will warn you and remove you, but you're more than happy to express your opinions. If you don't like the way I swallow, if I forget to mute, I'm sorry. I do my best as a human. We are not an echo chamber. So please don't silence anybody for opinions, but if they are calling anybody else names or being rude or disrespectful, then that's another story. So anyone violating the no bullying rule gets blocked. My action really is one of integrity and not hypocrisy. The real hypocrisy is dropping a safety case, a stalking case, dropping a stalking case to avoid cameras, then broadcasting for 9 hours. That is where the truth failed with these people. There are so many of you creators who have integrity that I found because of this scandal. Well, I'm glad you found the ones with integrity. It helps. The algorithm for YouTube is really weird. I've been in this niche of the Vallow Daybell because that's what I started my channel. Most of my videos are on it. And a lot of times if I do a video on some other topic, YouTube doesn't put it out there. So it's kind of, I feel like I kind of got in the YouTube pickle. So I did start another channel, but this is my true crime channel and more. So this still exists. Okay. So hold on, my mother. I will be right back. Sorry guys. This is why I'm home. Okay, sorry. If those of you that don't know me, my mom is 88. She lives with me and she's been with me for the past 5 years, but she has pretty advanced dementia. And so sundowning time is always a real difficult time. So anyway, I will have to juggle, but she's okay right now. Yesterday, I was her sister, Anne, who's been dead for probably 15 years. And yeah, yesterday she refused to take her medicine for 2 days. And then she was feeling really bad. And I said, you have to take your medicine. And she said, no. And then I said, please take your medicine. And she said, no. And I said, I'll give you ice cream if you take your medicine. That worked. Dementia is the weirdest thing, everybody. It is just very difficult. Anyway, let me get back to this. We're good. Oh, I'm so sorry. It is so hard. So hard. So that's why I'm on a leave of absence from work right now, because I'm a hospice nurse and it's just too much right now as bad as she's getting and living with me and I don't have help. So that's why I'm on this leave, but it also helps me juggle things better at home and I don't have to worry about going to my job. Okay. So back to the Matthias mess. So, I've pointed this out the other day, and Lauren's biggest crying on her video and what she says is that it's going to re-victimize victims and that this goes back 5 years. So Dr. John talking about a stalker and a mean girl group that the stalker, which is not a stalker, that this whole situation has only been around for a few months, right? They were friends until I think started about in April. So it doesn't fit the narrative, like don't release my text messages and my screenshots, and Dr. John running interference here, talking about, in his thing yesterday, talking about the fact that it is a roasting group text and people screenshot this roasting group text. Well, I can tell you, what are they talking about? Because they're pointing at Christina and this group of friends that had a falling out with Lauren, and they are the bad people, and they are the haters, and they are the ones. But Lauren wants to know about 6 years back. So it doesn't fit her narrative very well at all. That it predates Christina by 5, 6, almost years. And this was admitted. And Christina was only involved for what, 1.5 years or something like that. So it proves the panic is about a pre-existing pattern of behavior, not a current stalker. That's how I feel. Thank you, DB. Thank you. So it doesn't match up. It really doesn't match up to me. So, you know, there's a lot of context missing when they've come out and given their side of the story. First of all, Christina lives in Utah and Lauren lives in Nevada. So that's distance when it comes to stalking. They had a professional relationship and a friendship. And then she serves the injunction on her, but it's so terribly timed that it makes people that actually are willing to ask questions go, wait, what? The timing, the crime con, all that stuff. So, and I really feel like in Dr. John's, he gaslit us so bad in his premiere last night with Lauren being the demure wife sitting next to him. You know, Lauren put a comment in the chat, in her chat last night, and it says, not sure where people are getting the idea the judge said this wasn't stalking. Let me find it, because I have a screenshot of it. All right. My screenshots are weird. Here it is. It's Sleuthy Goosey, Sleuthy, who is a YouTube channel as well. She said, a stalking injunction is not a remedy for shutting down speech that a person doesn't like or somebody saying something. This is what the judge said. A stalking injunction is not a remedy for shutting down speech that a person doesn't like. Somebody saying about them, oh God. A stalking injunction is not a remedy for shutting down speech that a person doesn't like somebody saying about them. And it seems like that's what you're trying to do in this case. And Lauren says, not sure where people are getting the idea. The judge said this wasn't stalking. I'm lost. The judge said it was, and so does the law. Be well. I'm going back to listening to the PhD. This is gaslighting, you guys. Flat out gaslighting. I mean, it's unbelievable that they could sit there, invite all these people, give me super chats, give me money, but let me just gaslight you into believing that what you're hearing and what is the truth is not the truth, and you're not hearing what you're supposed to be hearing. You know, she's using okay, so she's telling you to ignore the court ruling and to listen to the PhD, right? It's textbook manipulation. She's telling you, she's dismissing you. She's dismissing all of us. No, listen to the whatever. It was stalking. The judge never said that. But let's go back and listen to the person who has more authority and brains than you do. My husband, the PhD. Bye-bye. Does that make sense to you? Like, it is truly, truly, truly manipulation at its finest and gaslighting. And people that believe it, they really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. It's hypocrisy, it's gaslighting, and we know better. Really, it's like after the PhD spent 2 hours setting the stage, right? Lauren delivers this denial and tells you that your eyes and the documents and the judge and everything that was said and everything you really heard, you didn't hear right. You heard it improperly. And it's making the audience, us all, question their own memory. And then Grayson, there's just so much. Okay, so let's just go back for a minute. I want to go to the beginning, the very beginning of cluster B, yeah, for sure. And he's a psychologist. This is just so weird. But I guess, not every psychologist is mentally well. I don't know what's going on there, but there are significant issues that I'm seeing that are trying to make us all believe something that isn't true. The mask dropped, the curtains open, yep. So let me go back and play. I have too many tabs open, clearly. Let's get rid of the ones that I don't need to have open. Okay. Not that one. The very, very beginning. I don't know. You guys were here, right? And you were here the other day when in my chat somebody said free Dr. John, right? Well, I'm going to change that. I know we thought, maybe John was part of Lauren's manipulation, but I don't think so. I think it's a dual, both of them problem. Okay, now hold on. I'm going to share my screen because I want you to hear that with the whole free Dr. John. Free their girl Friday, right? Their producer, babysitter. All right, let me share my screen here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We're back. I know that a few of you, the hashtag Free John is going around a little bit. You okay? He's here. He's okay.
Yeah, you had to unlock the cage in the garage to let me out, so I'm here. Yeah, I thank you for giving me some breakfast this morning too. After letting me out of the cage, don't worry, you don't have to free me. I'm good.
Yeah, we're here.
So. Thank you, Lauren, for watching my show. We appreciate the view. And thanks. Thanks for the view. Like, you have to pay a higher tier for that. I have to be honest, I really don't understand some of these takes. I get it. We are talking about the TikTok's free speech. I get that. Yes, TikTok's free speech, ripping off a community of true crime followers who appreciate and are here for the right reasons to support victims and families of victims. When you are taking advantage of those kind people that are giving you super chats and PayPal and higher tiers and Patreon and all this stuff while you're talking bad, from what I understand, I have not seen the actual perfect, I haven't seen all the receipts, let's put it that way, and I do not have the ability or the, I'm not the person to show them to you. But that's part of it, right? I feel like our true crime community and creators like me deserve to get the respect that we deserve because we're not out there trying to get a story or trying to rub up to people for money or any of that. Do you know what I mean? I know it's a business, and yes, with Facebook or with YouTube ads, I do get a little bit of money. My channel isn't huge, but it's not enough to live on. It's not enough to buy groceries for a month, what I get. So just that's kind of my point in all this. I know people are thinking it's a mean girl. Oh my gosh, there's bigger things to talk about in this world, but this actually affects what I do here as a creator, as a true crime channel that's been a true crime channel for since 2019. And I don't like it. I don't like that people are stepping on others, bashing victims behind their back, talking about them, and using them for clout and money. That's what I don't like. There's a way to do this that is actually for the victims, not for yourself. Does that help at all? Does that help at all? I found all these creators who are actually not presenting fluff and how actual content, but don't get the same kind of following. Yeah, no, we don't. We don't. We never will. People, there's a lot of crap that goes on, and there's a lot of people that have fallen off. People have been hacked, said forget it on their channel. They're literally been hacked by other creators. I mean, it really was. It really has been a thing. He claims his wife was going to self-harm, but he is mandated reporter, so it doesn't track. Doesn't track at all. He's a mandated reporter. He woke up to her rocking in her bed, talking about wanting to kill herself, and they and then okay, what did you do? Did you go get help? Did you call your doctor? Did you have her evaluated by someone other than you or Grayson? Have we seen evidence of Lauren actually bad-mouthing victims? I have heard all this speculation, but I have not seen receipts except Gigi, Lori H, and the annoying comment. Yes, from what I understand, there is receipts out there, but I don't know who or when they are going to drop them or how. Who Christina didn't hurt his career. I mean, even in the 9 hour, you guys, did you see the super chats coming in at the end of the 9 hour? $500. I thought, well, you know, it is actually smart. If you think you might wind up getting booted from YouTube channel, you better hurry up and collect as much money as possible right now and tell your side of the story. When the whole truth comes out, people may not want to be here for you anymore. I know she's losing subscribers. I know for sure, based on the analytics, she's lost at least 1,000, which I thought wasn't. I thought there'd be more if people really were if people really. I keep getting distracted by the chat. If people really were not believing her, but more and more people have made comments like I thought for sure she was on the up and up, and now this is all just seeing too many signs, like, yeah, the grifter crap. $5,000 in chats. Wow, that's wild. Christina made one phone call to fact check employment, and you can do that. Okay, if you wanted to know about somebody that you were going to date, right, and they told you that they were a forensic psychologist working at a university, and you wanted to make sure this person was telling you the truth, so you did a background check on them. Is that stalking? Why is it different for Christina to want to check to see if his credentials are really what they've been saying? Christina's been to their house, went swimming to the pool with them, has been around them. Obviously, her kids have been around them. Why can't she check on credentials of someone that's a supposed friend? But John had to defend himself in a board hearing, so that is more than calling a fact check to employment. Why is anyone talking about this? What that came from Lauren. Did he really have to? Where's the receipts on that? That came out of Lauren's mouth, that John had to defend himself in a board hearing. It doesn't make sense to me that if somebody was checking your employment, that you have to defend yourself in front of a board. Okay, so let me get to where I was going next here. I have timestamps. Okay. My timestamps are being weird. Okay. The next one I wanted to point out was this weird stuff about Brad Pitt. Celebrities, comparing themselves to celebrities. Let's find that spot.
And we have a lot to talk about.
1996, he did.
These meals
It's
changed
always gonna
everything
do
for
these
me.
commercials.
I'll admit it,
Hold on,
I was
gotta get
skeptical
share my
about ready to
screen
eat
with you.
meals, but then I tried Factor, and after one bite,
He did a movie called 12
Okay, let me share my screen and we will do this. Oh, I got it. Okay, here we go.
Monkeys. Many people probably don't. 1996, he did a movie called 12. Was born and raised in a small town in Oklahoma. He was born in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
We're talking about Brad Pitt now.
And I also learned that at least some of his early career, he began in 1987. I didn't know any of his earlier movies. He did a few movies, and then he did work for a soap opera. So the evolution of his career really begins with soap operas. And, you know, when I learned that, I thought, oh, this is interesting, right? Like, you don't see a lot of soap opera actors go on to become mega stars.
True.
I mean, I guess some of them have, but I'm not aware of a lot, right? And so
Hold on, let's get to the point.
you've got this guy in this major movie, but essentially there's this war between himself and Angelina Jolie.
Two
There's
mega stars.
two megastars. There's this issue over custody, right? There's all kinds of issues here. There's I
It's a
believe
bitter divorce.
it's a bitter divorce. I believe there's all kinds of accusations being levied. And before this, by the way, I should point out, like, the paparazzi are all over Brad Pitt wherever he goes. He's
He's married to Jennifer Aniston.
married to Jennifer Aniston before.
Cheating scandal.
Right. There's issues about fidelity, right? Like, anything the tabloid can get their hands on, any salacious story about Brad
Okay.
Pitt, they're publishing that, right?
Mhm.
I see this stuff, but I don't really.
Okay, so they're comparing themselves, Lauren. That's what I'm getting out of this. Like, they're comparing Lauren to the whole Angelina Brad Pitt stuff that went down, almost ruined his career but what about the great work he's done? Why doesn't anybody care about that? And Brad can't sue them, right? They can't, because he is not a limited. He is a public figure. But it's just so diversion. Okay, you guys, don't look at us. Let us tell you a bunch of stories, and let me get out my psychological books and Psychology Today and all this stuff and gaslight you all into believing that we're the victim. My poor little wife, Lauren. The mean girls were mean, and then they sent one to stalk her. And this happened to even big people in the past. But look, they're still big and famous. Look at that. I feel like it's a whole cheerleader for Lauren. Like, you can do this. Hang in there, girl. We need this money. You got to keep going. You got to get your fans back. Let's tell the story of Brad Pitt. I mean, it's crazy.
Really pay much attention to it because I don't really care. I want to go to his movies. I'm invested in this guy as an actor and watching him grow and change and master his craft, right?
Exactly. Did I lose the screen, you guys? Are we hold on. Let me get the screen back. Sorry. Okay. Let's try that again. Basically, to master his craft. I don't care about his personal life. I don't care what mean stuff he did his wife. I just want to see his movies.
Should Brad Pitt be doing movies, right? I'm sure people have mixed feelings about this. He was never formally charged with anything. He was never criminally charged. But after 2016, it does appear that a lot of his roles are lesser roles. It appears that he's doing movies that they don't quite have the heft and the reach of movies he's done before.
Because someone ruined
so
his
the reason I read that
reputation,
list
like
of
yours,
movies prior to is because I don't know exactly what was going behind the scenes. I don't know if the impact of accusations was affecting his ability to get better films.
Thank you, Shirley. Thank you so much.
I just don't know. And so I'm going to leave us here.
This live
for a
rocks. You're
minute.
doing
I'm
a
going to
great
leave us
job
with the
making
accusations.
Perfect sense. Love your
The
focus on integrity. Thank you very much.
the
Thank you for
trajectory of his
super chat.
career that apparently
appreciated.
seems to stall around 2016, right? And I'm going to dive into something else, which is something that's called psychological essentialism. And psychological essentialism, and there's different kinds of psychological essentialism, but
Okay.
but fundamentally psychological essentialism is about the idea that things are people.
Okay. We will move on. Brad Pitt comes up again, believe me. But my point is, all this, Lauren's in her 9-hour live, she compared herself to Charles Vallow, to Charlie Kirk, to Tylee, to JJ's birthday when she did something and wrote this FU letter to Zalema or something. I don't know. Like, she compares herself to everybody. Michelle, I thought the same thing because she did correct him a couple times with big things that she felt like maybe, but I rejected some of them too, she says, when he said they rejected. He goes, anyway, thank you. Thank you, Shaggy, for the super chat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So character doesn't matter if you put out a good product, right? That's what they're saying. You know, your art is so fabulous. Like, think about, and they literally do say that. I mean, I can't go through 3 hours and 45 minutes or whatever the heck this thing was, but I picked out some things. Hey, Journey to Get There. Hello. Thank you. So yeah, what? Okay, we're going to, Brad Pitt got crap talked about him in the public, and it sort of ruined things for him for at least a while. All right. So another thing that Dr. John was saying, he basically said that that Christina's just a fangirl. It was all about fangirling and parasocial relationship. So we'll get to that because that really bothers me a lot. She worked for her and she was her friend. the limited public figure that Lauren keeps talking about, she's using that term to warn critics. But her fame, her actions, she was a network reporter. She was on the freaking news. She's been on Dateline. She's broadcasting her own feud on public with 300 and thousands and thousands of views. It proves she meets the designation of a public figure. No matter how many times she's going to say, I'm a limited public figure, she's a public figure. She can try to downplay it to you all you like, I'm just a mom. I'm just a limited public figure. You know, I'm nobody in the big scheme of things. I'm no Brad Pitt. And she even bring that, I'm not Johnny Depp. I'm not Amber Heard. I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow, like every celebrity that's been on trial. So with that, this protects our criticism of her. We can talk about Lauren. She is a public figure. It is allowed. We are talking about the truth. We're talking about things she says, and it is allowed. We're not defaming her by any means. There was a post on X today that says something very cryptic, and I'm very curious about this. It says something about Lauren. Oh, I got to find it because I don't want to misquote it. I don't want to misquote it at all. Okay. I don't know who Kat Ryan is on X. Kat Ryan on X said, no way. Lauren Matthias is friends with the victims' families while also giving money to their killer. Now, I don't see receipts on this at all, but somebody by the name of Carrie, Kerri, blue check mark, Carrie True Crime, says correct. Anybody heard anything about that? Lauren Matthias is friends with victims' family while also giving money to their killer. Anybody want to dig up something about that? Let me know if you find anything. Justine, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sorry, I put my phone down really loud. You guys probably are like, oh, bang. Thank you, thank you. Law Nerd Amber, hello. Bingo. There's some crap going on, you guys. I think that something's going to come to light. It feels like many people from the true crime community was stalking Christina at CrimeCon. Well, Joe Schmoe, in his knuckleheadness, didn't even watch this 9-hour live, and he went on Queen Bee the other night, and he said he was the one that took the picture of Christina. And I know from what I was told by Lindsay that they were set up at a table for Ashley Banfield to do her podcast. They were there for a long time. They were there first. Christina was with them. They asked Christina to take a picture of them. Joe Schmoe and Lauren and Grayson took that opportunity to get up. Joe had to get up and go take a picture of Christina taking a picture of Lindsay with her boss, right? And then people are posting that Christina was in there taking a picture of Lauren and that it was in her socks, right? It was not the case at all. It's so messed up and misconstrued and lies. Is Lauren going to straighten out these lies? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, you're continued. Let's see what's Holly. What are you saying, Holly? I'm losing the chats. Okay. Yes, his real name is Paul. Well, I saw his document, that his statement about him taking the pictures. There's kind of a lot left out of that too. Sorry, person that doesn't want to hear me swallow. I'm gonna mute for a second. How is taking a picture of Elle over her shoulder? She wasn't even facing back that direction in the picture. Exactly. But I have seen comments. D. Hutchinson. I tried to report the 9-hour live to YouTube because you have a woman saying she is afraid and she felt like committing unaliving. It would not let me report it. Isn't that messed up? It's a speculation that Grayson might have put money on Lori's account from a clip of Annie's interview with Juicy Scoop. All right, let me continue what I was going on here. So, Dr. John talks about Christina being a fangirl and this parasocial relationship that, like, Christina was this obsessive fan. But the defense statements we read prove Christina was a professional colleague and a paid contractor and not a random fan. The fangirl label is definitely a psychological deflection from Dr. John to avoid discussing professional sabotage. Let's play that part. Let me cue it up. Okay.
Excuse me. Fanny packs are for summer camp counselors.
You need the new 340 GSM military grade bearskin hoodie to get comfortable.
Part of this narcissistic linking fantasy for the TikToker here has to do with this idea of being a, let's call it a pseudo stan or a semi stan, right? It has to do with the fact that all the detectives in Colorado that talked to you about the situation, they saw the TikToker as a fangirl. That's how they defined her, right? And so it's interesting that there's this fantasy here about whatever the special quality you have, it's going to rub off on her. And that's part of this. That's part of this idea of not wanting to lose that connection to you.
Whatever special quality you have, that TikToker did not want to lose that. This fantasy connection. Can we just put the crown and the jewels on now? The cape.
And having said that, I think it's, if we're going to talk about the psychology of stalking, there's some elements here that there's been some research on stans that we need to talk about. So some of the elements that they found that create stans that engage in this type of celebrity worship or even fangirl people at a lower level like you.
Dr. John is calling her a fangirl. That's who. Isn't it? I mean, it's, you know, celebrities or even people at a lower level like you, because you want to be a limited public figure right now. Sorry, girl. You meet the, even though most people don't know who you are a public figure. I think she is bored. I think she's like, you know, all these people were out here saying, where's Dr. John? Why isn't Dr. John by our side? Why isn't he there standing up for his wife? blah, blah, blah. So I think this is the correction to that. Like, look, no, I'm here, and this show's going to be me. I'm going to be the one running the show here because I'm standing up for my wife. And now I'm going to tell you everything that everybody thinks about my wife, which is completely because she's so awesome and she's so special and she's so limited public figure, and people are fangirling her, and when they get cut off from her they don't like it, but they still want to be near her, so now they're near her by fangirling her and stalking her. All right, we got a little more about this part.
They found that an insecure parent-child attachment is typically common in stans. They found that parental absence, so not even abuse, not neglect.
All right, I got to say something there. Lauren kind of rolls her eyes at this because Lauren is not home. She is on the road for most of these years since her channel was growing and growing. So she's a parental absence from what I'm understanding. So John, I don't know if you wanted to bring that one up. No, because you're saying that Christina somehow might have this trait of having an absent parent, and now that's why she's this fangirl, narcissist, everything you can think of in the book name. Dr. John hates when Lauren interrupts to keep the marriage. She walks on eggshells. I think yeah, I believe it. And this is a good point, popping like your daddy's collar. Popping like your daddy's collar. That is actually a really good point, because the lines between a professional, she says probably 100 times that she's a professional, and friendship, you have to be very careful with that. So making friends with the people that are working for you, close friends like that, and crap talking other people or whatever, the lines are way too blurred. That's definitely wrong way to hold it if you want to be get an actual contract with these people, sign a non-disclosure agreement. Don't be just trusting everybody at their word, and then when it comes back to bite you in the butt, it's kind of your fault, right?
Not childhood trauma, just parental absence. So one parent, one or the other, or both parents can be absent more than usual. The presumption here is obviously that if a parent is absent or not giving a child enough attention, it could be that you grow up in a really big family and maybe one of the parents isn't as available. The presumption is that the reason you stalk celebrities or you fangirl pseudo-celebrities or semi-celebrities is because you're trying to make up for that parental absence. You're trying to engage with a parental figure or a special figure that somehow is going to give you something you didn't have when you were a child. There was a study in Hong Kong that looked at adolescents who engaged in celebrity worship. And what they found was a couple of things. That the subjects in the study who did not have any particular preference for celebrities tended to have fairly high confidence and fairly high self-esteem. The kids who went after celebrities and engaged the stans, who engaged in more celebrity worship, they had a weaker sense of self and lower self-confidence. The absorption addiction model says that stans.
So I think what his point here is he's trying to build Lauren up to tell her that, Christina wanted to be with her so badly that when she rejected her, she turned to stalking her because she has all these wounds, from growing up and absent parent. What? Where is he coming up with this? Well, first of all, he's reading to us. everything he's talking about, he's got a book. I mean, if you are a professional psychologist that can instruct students, why can't you just stand here and look at the camera and tell us some of this stuff? Don't you know this stuff? Like, isn't this stuff that's something you do in your daily life as a forensic psychologist? And I mean, it kind of just blows my mind that we're now, I mean, I could get a bunch of books and pull out crap for you and read it to you. Okay. So he claims that the stalker is dependent, powerless, but the documents, again, they show that Christina was defending herself against hostile texts. The person was dependent. Okay, so she went into a 9-hour panic when it was threatened, when she was the plaintiff and there was a defendant, and then it didn't go to court because it wasn't going to go her way, and and then let me go to here, because this is a spot that I want to go to, because this is completely irrelevant, and it's way down towards the end of this stream, where Dr. John gets pissed about Lori Hellis. Let's just say that. I mean, he's got a hothead here with this one. The commercial.
Because you're a female expressing emotion. This is where the sexist bias comes in. They're dismissing you as not serious, as untrustworthy, right? They're dismissing you as frivolous, as silly, as being engaged in a catfight, as a dispute between mean girls, because you're a female.
Welcome, Walnerd Amber. Thank you.
Because the stalker wasn't following you with the gun. It doesn't matter. People can't handle the type of vulnerability and emotion that you expressed on that live for hours. What's the response? It's to call you histrionic. It's to call you a liar. It's to say you're faking. It's to say you're doing it for clicks. You're doing it for attention, right? That's because, and by the way, one of the people saying this because of this was on our show years ago.
Here we go.
And I will say this, one of the worst moments I've ever had in 5 years, one of the moments that pissed me off to no end, unlike every other moment on any show I've ever been on, this person was on the show. And somebody, a viewer asked a question of me that was extremely emotional. And I was pondering the question. You could see I was getting emotional. I was going to give one of the best responses I've ever given. And you know what happened? Because this person couldn't handle the fact that I was getting emotional, they cut me off. They absolutely cut me off, refused to let me answer because they couldn't handle that emotion in a male, especially in a male, that raw emotion that I was about to express, and I was so angry. If this person wonders,
Scooter, I want to say something to what you just put there, because we're not bashing her. We are reviewing and talking about what we've seen, and getting a restraining order, a stalking order, which could go on her record for the rest of her life when she was not stalking, when you set her up to get served at CrimeCon, when she got Joe Schmoe, Paul, to go walk around, move closer and closer and closer until they found out they were super close to her while she was working and helping another creator, another podcaster take a picture and then get in the right shot to prove how close she was to her when they moved closer to her. There is a lot of stuff here. If you really, really pay attention, this is not bashing. This is standing up for the true crime community, for people being ripped off, being treated like we're stupid out here, for her getting hundreds and thousands of dollars of super chats for crying for 9 hours after the judge told her this is not stalking. Somebody's allowed to not like you. This is a freedom of speech issue. So the only people that can help make this clear are other creators right now. You gotta question the narrative, but not bashing. Absolutely not bashing. We'll go back to him bashing Lori Hellis, though.
Wonders why she's not on our channel? You might want to look at yourself. You might want to look at the fact that you cut me off in one of the most critical moments on one of our shows that I've ever had. You might want to look at the fact that people didn't like you. You might want to look at the fact that you spoke over Lauren and myself. You might want to look at the fact that you thought you owned this channel when you didn't. You might want to look at the fact that there was a groundswell of people who despised you. So this idea.
John, it would have been more effective if you looked at the camera. But this is what he's saying about Lori Hellis. And he's mad. But Lori Hellis brought receipts. Her manuscript was, it's a huge problem. Lauren passed out her manuscript to all kinds of people, including Nate Eaton and Justin Law. Like, people got her manuscript from Lauren, and Lauren lied about it and she said, I just sent it to my fact checker. Why do you need to fact check Lori Hellis's book? Number one. But okay. Number two, that's a lie. And somebody told Lori Hellis that her manuscript was intercepted and given to people. This is her book that she spent money and had a publisher. And now, John, you're going to sit here and that's why you're not, because you interrupted me when I was talking one time when you were on our show, and now you wonder why you're not on our show, and people didn't like you and nobody wanted you on our show. It's insulting to any intelligent person for this to be what's happening right now with this. Right, Joel. So say that and don't make excuses about having to take her off your show. Right. If that was the issue, you ghosted her for 3 weeks. She didn't know why. Then you told her that you didn't want her to come back, and you just, sidestepped the whole thing when in fact, John was mad. It's coming out now about something. Let her give her the opportunity to apologize, or to go back and look at it and realize that she didn't mean to do that, or to say, yeah, I didn't want to see you cry, buddy. Like, whatever. He mentioned her interrupting too many times. Like, he has control issues. And they brought her on as an expert in law. So you come on a show as the expert, I'm pretty sure you're probably the one that should do the most talking. Lauren doesn't do the talking. She brings everybody around her that has more knowledge and more experience and more credentials. And, it just irritates me. Then they took her time slot. And before that, they took my time slot. So I had my Friday night happy hour every Friday night at that particular time, and everybody would come, my members only, and we had Friday night happy hour, and pretty soon people weren't showing up, because I do know and I do understand that people wanted to hear what Lori Hellis had to say when she was on there. She was an expert a lawyer. People love the law tube people there. They bring so much information to us. And so everybody, but they started their happy hour. They even had wine glasses, just like I did. They started their happy hour at the exact same time that mine was going. And then I know, I can guarantee you, I haven't ever asked her, but Lori Hellis probably didn't even realize it. And then when they kicked Lori off, Lori said she was going to do her show an hour before their show. And then they wound up going to that time slot, saying it was a babysitter issue. There's just too much. Do you know what I mean? Like any of these things isolated would be, okay, yeah, random, weird, big deal. But when you add everything up together and what she's done to Gigi, Lori, and who else? Who else hasn't even come forward? You know? I don't know if they called it happy hour. I did, but they had glasses of wine. And that was my whole like thing. Like everybody, all my members, we're gonna chill and have happy hour. It was like 5 o'clock, I think. And I don't. A lot of you were there, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, whatever. I kind of pulled back on my happy hour, and I was in theirs. And I also believe, I don't have the evidence, but I also believe that Lauren had something to do with sabotaging my Colby Ryan interview. I had talked to Colby on the phone. We had planned an interview for my Saturday Live. I put the thumbnail up, and all of a sudden, he told me he couldn't do it. And I was like, okay, that's cool. He goes, we always got a lot going on. I'm like, it's fine. You just let me know when you're ready. But within a couple days or weeks, I was in Lauren's chat, gave a super chat, whatever. I just was like, I don't know why that happened, but it's cool. And she had mods in there that said, oh, hey, Kathy left undone, still waiting for that Colby Ryan interview with ha 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 emojis. So I just, and this has been going on for 5 years. 5 years. So there's a lot of little shenanigans and things that go on behind the scenes, and I don't know why I would never, ever, ever have a channel as big as hers because I don't have time. I got to keep my RN job. It's my livelihood, and it's solid, and it gives me health insurance, and it's my career, right? So sure, when I retire, maybe, but right now, no. And 5 years ago, certainly no. I feel sorry for Kresha. As soon as Kathy gets anything, she will pass it on to Kresha for sure. And Kresha, I think everybody should watch Kresha's live stream tomorrow because she has things to say. And she made a couple comments in her live stream yesterday saying that there were things she had feelings and this about before. And she always kind of questioned herself, well, maybe it's me. And I think it has a lot to do with this subject. So I will go to Kresha's live and see what she has to say. You're an RN? You're an RN too? Nurses Unite. Nurses Unite. Yes. My background was labor and delivery for 10 years. And then nurse advice line, high risk OB, hospice, and then back to hospice. So I've been a hospice nurse for a while now, and I love it, but it is exhausting. But I can't do bedside 12-hour shifts anymore. In fact, I just found out I'm probably gonna have to get my knee replaced. I have severe degenerative joint disease on my left knee. It was bothering me the whole time I was in Europe this summer when I went to Greece and Italy, and I was walking. And then they called me about my back yesterday, and they said my back has severe arthritis. So I am freaking falling apart. All those years of being a nurse took its toll, I guess. Clearly, I was a flight attendant too, so I'm sure that took its toll as well. Pushing those carts, wearing high heels back in the day when you couldn't wear flats. So yeah, so welcome. We love nurses here. We need nurses too. So if you have kids, daughters, sons, anybody, send them to nursing school. Okay. And I understand that you want to listen to true crime, and we certainly will definitely get back to that as well. Well, we did show Lori Daybell's stupid court hearing yesterday where she was all snarky. That's true crime. But yes, we will get back to that, I promise you. I'm just standing up for the true crime community right now. That's how I feel about this. When I first saw your channel, I thought you were a friend who's an attorney. You look like twins. Oh, funny. I have was it a doppelganger? Doppelganger? I am not judging you. I'm just saying that I don't know what to believe or if it matters. I understand that. And that's fair. That's completely fair. I may want to try moringa powder. It's a miracle for many, including myself. Moringa powder. I don't even know what that is. I am friends with Christina, y'all. I promised every one of you would love her. This is awful what happened to her. All right, let me go back to where I was with this nonsense here. Do we want to hear him yell at Lori anymore? I don't think so. But this is irrelevant to this, right? So why did he bring this up? He brought it up right after he started talking about the Salem witch. And I guess he was trying to create some kind of victim narrative, persecution, diverting attention, as what I think a lot of this is all about, is diversion. Everybody look over there while we are doing this over here. And then Grayson talks about, let me play that part, that they got death threats, but it wasn't Christina, but they got death threats, I guess, since all this has been going on. Let me find it.
County, by the way, where Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I might add, by...
Oh, yeah, let's go back to that. Now we're going to bring up Charlie Kirk again.
Stalking is, quote, a constellation of behaviors in which one individual inflicts on another repeated, unwanted intrusions and communications. Yep. So I've read a lot of definitions of stalking. I've read definitions of cyber stalking. Do they fit?
Yes.
Yet, of course, there's plenty of people apparently out there who argue that this wasn't stalking, this was catfighting, this was Real Housewives stuff, whatever, there was no harm involved. I would urge them to go look at the legal and academic definitions, as I just defined, of stalking. Because stalking, one of the interesting things out there in terms of listening to some of this debate about what stalking is that almost all the people who would disagree with the academic criteria that I'm reading and the legal criteria, they see stalking as like a 1930s phenomenon where you follow someone around in your old Ford, I don't know, 1930s cars, your old Ford Jalopy with a gun, right? They think stalking is physically following someone around with a gun, right? Guess what? It's not. We live in 2025. Stalking is fixated obsessional behavior that's unwanted and repeated that causes distress in the victim. That's precisely what's going on with you. So this idea that there's a team Lauren and a team, I mean, people can believe whatever they want, but like this idea of teams is absurd. If you look at the criteria for stalking, how it's defined legally and academically, there's two teams. There's team Lauren, who fits all the criteria of stalking and cyber stalking, every one of them. And then there's the stalking team who doesn't fit who meets all the criteria of someone who's stalking. I don't know. I mean, have we litigated that in court yet? Nope. But I feel very confident that if and when we do, if we re-up this case and litigate it in another state that's not Provo, Utah, that we're going to show quite clearly that you meet the criteria for stalking and that you need protection.
And to the media who thinks that filming civil stalking injunctions is okay. By the way, I hope that you can.
Okay, wait. They're going to take it to another case. Are they going to do like the Johnny Depp thing and take it to a state where they can do this at? Is that what this is? Good luck. Have fun. I'm going to go to that court hearing. I'm going to be like, if you really truly do that, I will go. I will find a way to be there, whatever state you decide to take it to. You guys, can you guys believe this? I mean, I at this point, Lauren, it's not stalking. Because you didn't like that judge, what that judge had to say about the First Amendment. Go find a judge that's going to be on your side. Do you really think that that's going to happen for you? I mean, if I just don't even know what to say. This woman puts victims all over YouTube. It's not. She certainly does. And then she goes and takes pictures with the dirty cops from Delphi, and gosh. I mean, Richard Allen, guilty or innocent, was treated horribly by those cops, and she's got a smiling picture with them. And Lori Hellis made a comment, and she said, "No, there's no federal. She can't do this. There's nothing federally that she could bring this to. She's judge shopping." Well, maybe give him a little find a dirty judge and give him some favors, Lauren, and then maybe you'll get your way. And keep the cameras out. Exactly. I think so. He's gaslighting all of us. He's trying. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what you're selling, John. Not at all. Like doctor shopping, exactly. A lot of people had a problem with that. And Andrea Burkhart, Bob Motta, like a lot of the lawyers, they've even brought up some comments now. There's a lot of stuff going over on Twitter. Like, I can't keep up. So let me go back to where I was here.
Can reconsider that position and wonder if this is maybe why people that are being abused can't escape their abusers, or that it might be used as an abuser's way of coercive control if they're encouraging media to cover a civil stalking injunction.
Well, and on that point, by the way, we fought vigorously for privacy.
We did.
Vigorously.
The same county, by the way, where Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I might add, by someone who was incited by online rhetoric and violence. The same county where someone lost their lives because of online rhetoric.
You said lives. Did Charlie Kirk have multiple lives?
Lost their life.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
On that note,
Here she
we can talk
comes.
about privacy. Let's remind everybody that you guys could have gone public 4 months ago.
Yeah.
We could have sent masses to this woman's account 4 months ago. And why didn't we? Because we said, it's okay, we'll handle it. Let's just be private about it. We don't want anybody to know. Nobody knew about it for months because we continued to just try and be quiet until we felt like we had no other option.
So Grayson is over here saying, let's remind people that we could have come forward in public 4 months ago and taken this into our hands and send everybody over to her account and taken care of this 4 months ago. But we didn't because we wanted this to remain private. And we didn't want people going over to her account to harass her or attack her. We could have come forward 4 months ago, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm also saying somebody reached out to me who knows this person, and they just wanted to let me know that they had been contacted. And I told them I find myself having a lot of empathy for her right now, regardless of what she's done, because I see the hate that she's getting, and I would never want somebody to feel that way. And I would never want somebody to consider maybe doing something to themselves, or maybe, like, I actually don't believe, I don't think that the way you get somebody to have remorse and to change their behavior is by screaming at them.
Yeah.
I actually feel like that incites anger and that makes them more vengeful. And so I find myself having a lot of
hurt people.
It can hurt people. It can incite, look at the death threat we got online with somebody loading a gun and quite literally shooting it, saying, if you come to my state, guess what I'm going to do? But so I don't believe in that. And I was telling this person who reached out, who had a relationship with this person,
the TikToker,
and just wanted to give me some information. I said, thank you for the information. And I literally sent back a message and said, I find myself having a lot of empathy. And although I'm really struggling right now, it's no secret I am.
Here we go.
I've been public about it.
You
haven't
have
been public about the specifics.
On Trisha Griffith.
I find myself having a lot of empathy because I wonder if she's maybe in a similar boat that I've been in for the last while. And I never want somebody to feel that way. And again, I don't think that going to her account and screaming at her and telling her she's wrong, if you want someone to change, that's not the way to get them to change. That actually makes them worse. The best way you can appeal to somebody's empathy and the appeal to their conscience, really, if they have one, is by having one yourself and trying to do it reasonably. Now, is this person reasonable? I wouldn't necessarily say so, but I would say that, like, again, just going crazy on her on social media is not going to do anything.
Well, yeah, and to the people that egged her on. That's my point too, the peer pressure. To every one of those commenters egging her on and continuing to tell her to do this, you also, hold some responsibility. That's mobbing. It's group bullying. And you didn't help her either.
So I've gone through the criteria for stalking, both legal and.
Okay, so I want to tell you something. So this started back in April or so. Gigi said she thought they got through this in April, but so whenever all this was going on. So Lauren lost her friends about that time. And so when they said something about Christina's a lot, Christina's annoying, blah, blah, blah. And it got back to Christina. And so Christina saw Lauren at the Arizona trial. By this time, everybody was like, Lauren is not a nice person. This is how I'm interpreting from what I've heard, what I've talked to, and what I'm seeing out of the whole story, including Joe Schmoe's side of things, right? And so she said, well, Christina approached her and said, I heard you called me annoying. And Lauren was like, oh, and Christina recorded it, I guess. But that was when the complete falling out happened. And so where did she meet Joe Schmoe? Well, she met him in Delphi, and she was rude to him. And she cut him in line, and he was mad, and he was like, well, BI, you cut me in line. Then he did a clip of hers like this, and she copyright struck him. She copyright struck him hard. Not just the one where you share the monetization, but this is fair use. How we're doing this, you're allowed to take clips of somebody's work and I mean, look at the people that go all day long doing this, Jay Every Day and Queen Bee, they follow this stuff. So it's fair use, right? So Joe did that to one of Lauren's videos and she hard copy struck him. And so he had to fight it through YouTube. But when he met her in Arizona, and this is perfect style, perfect Lauren style. When he met her in Arizona, she apologized to him. I'm so sorry, Joe Schmoe, Paul, whatever your name is, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, so then we kind of became friends and now I really like her. Okay, manipulation 101. She needed to collect new flying monkeys because the rest of them were onto her. So she had to go find people. Oh, there's Joe Schmoe. He's at the trial. He doesn't know how horrible everybody thinks I am. Let me go get him under my wing. And I'm going to say it, Megan Connor as well. Because at CrimeCon, who was doing the dirty work for Lauren? Lauren and Grayson sitting over here. Christina taking the picture. And Joe Schmoe saying we move closer and closer and closer. Did you guys hear that when he said that? Because Jay, Everyday JJ for Justice Jay, was like, wait, you moved closer and closer and closer. There's a whole thing on Queen Bee. Do you want to hear it? Let me know if you want to hear it. I'll play it. I don't have to play the whole thing, but I just want at least to play where Jay was like, wait, what? You just said you moved closer and closer and closer. Right. It's so obvious to me how manipulative it is. You heard it. Okay. Oh, hold on. Hold, please. All right, sorry. Phone. Yeah, so it's so manipulative. Like, oh, come here, let me find some new friends. Hurry up. Oh, these are crime people. Okay, cool. Are you going to CrimeCon? Are you going to CrimeCon? Okay, cool. Let's go to CrimeCon. And then, will you please stalk my stalker for me? You saw the picture of where Christina was taking a picture, not even looking at them, looking away from them, and then Joe Schmoe, Lauren, and Grayson conveniently not looking at Joe Schmoe while he's taking the picture. Two strangers, the two people sitting across from him, he says, are just complete strangers. Nobody knew them. So they literally moved to a table, sat with complete strangers so they could be that close to Christina. Come on. You want to hear it? Let me find it real quick. I won't play the whole thing because it's kind of boring, but the part of it where he's like, well, we move closer and closer. It should be in my history here. Let's see, maybe a bit the other way. Okay, here it is. Let me get it up here for you. I'm gonna have to switch screens. Hold on. Okay, share this tab instead. I'm gonna have to rewind. Okay, I missed it. Let me go back a little bit. We're gonna have to go back. Where'd Jay? Let me find it. Ugh. Every time I rewind. All right, I gotta find that one exact spot. Sorry, where Jay asks him. There it is. So there's this Christine over here. Lauren and Grayson. Yeah. come here, Joe, come here. And they're pointing her out to him, and then they send him to go take a picture. Joe, oh my goodness. What? Were you born yesterday? Or September 3rd? Because CrimeCon was September 4th, 5th. What the hell? I need to find the part where he said he was moving closer and closer and closer. It might have been just a little bit before this. Let me scroll back for a second. Let's see. It's from Jay, and she wasn't on there that long, so it has to be right around here. Here. That was well before Joe came in the picture. Why can't I find the part where Jay's like, when asks him how they got that close? Does anybody know? I'm like, I feel like we just watched this part and it wasn't there. Maybe not. Let me keep going. This is bugging me. I have to find this. It has to be like right here where I wasn't. Ugh. Ruby, can you find it? It's specifically when Jay's going to ask him, what do you mean you move from place to place to place? Because he says that. And I had it the other day right off the bat. But okay, if you can find that for me, thank you. And I will go back to the other people. I'm giving you the silent treatment. What did I give you the silent treatment about? Oh, shit, sorry. Oh, did I turn it off? Oh, okay. Is it bedtime? It's only 7:30 here. I should be awake. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm giving you the silent treatment. Thank you for letting me know. Ruby, if you could find it, that would be great. I will go back to the other two while you're looking for it. It is the part where Joe Schmoe says, well, we move closer and closer and closer. It is the biggest fail you can imagine in this whole thing if Lauren was trying to get closer and closer and closer to Christina because Joe put his foot in his mouth. And I think it's funny that he gave it away. And I want to hear it. You heard Jay play it? Yeah. So I'll go back to the other two real quick while you go to this. Because I have some other points I want to make with these two yo-yos over here. So Dr. John, in my opinion, he ignored all the facts. He ignored the distance. He ignored the professional relationship, the 6-year panic of like, oh my gosh, my text messages for 6 years. And most importantly, he did not address in any proper way the judge's statement. The judges saying that mean posts are not stalking and they are First Amendment protected. This was not a pursuit of justice, John. It was a psychological operation to achieve a narrative. You know, he's trying to achieve narrative control. Like everything he's doing, getting his book out, trying to make everybody think he's smarter than the rest of us. You know, I don't have a PhD, but I have critical thinking skills and I can see what's here in front of me. So the new hashtag I would like to add is forensically faked. Forensically faked, fake, thinks we're stupid. And my whole thing here is we want to look at evidence, not allegiance. And I'm not going to just stand by and allow somebody to call us out as if we're stupid when gaslight us and make everybody think that the bad person here was Christina and that everybody's just so jealous of Lauren. Lauren is just the biggest saint possible. You know, what in the heck? Smear campaign, ideological war. And then he went into these types of stalking, right? Apparently there's a bunch of types of stalking and he decided which one this was. Let me go to that. So he's assigned Christina a certain type of stalking. Give me an F. Give me an O. Hold on. You don't hear any sound? What the hell? Where's the sound? I didn't change anything. Let me go out of here and back in. You can hear me, right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can't hear me either? You can hear me. Okay, so it has something to do with the stream. Okay, you can hear me, but not the video. Okay, hold on. Let me go out and back in then. Okay, let's try. You can, if you can hear me, then it's the StreamYard software being dumb. Let's try again. Tell me if you can hear it now.
Repeated. I think that's obviously a no-brainer. Was this behavior repeated? Obviously, over and over and over. So the definition of stalking, the most simplistic criteria for stalking are fixated,
Can you hear now?
obsessed,
Unwanted.
unwanted, repeated. Yep. Check, 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 check. Here's how on one of the websites that talks about the big four defines stalking. Stalking, and this is stalking, this is physical or cyber. This is both, right? Quote, this is from a website in the UK. Stalking is a pattern of unwanted, repeated behavior that can leave you feeling scared or distressed. You don't have to be threatened with violence to be a victim of stalking. Any kind of persistent, unwanted contact that causes distress is stalking. Do you fit that definition? Yes. Let's talk about, again, this is from the same UK website. I'm also pointing out that this is not just this, the definition of stalking and cyber stalking we're talking about. This is all over the world. This doesn't just apply here. This is in Australia. This is in the UK, right? To identify stalking, they talk about this, what they call the SL.
Okay, but let's ignore what the judge said. The
double I strategy.
Stop talking, John.
To identify stalking, professionals often use the SL strategy. What's the first S? Surveillance.
We don't care anymore about what you have to say. I'm over you. There's one more thing I want to play that he does, which is so freaking weird before we end. And hopefully Ruby will find me my link. Okay, let me get to that one part because this is so freaking weird. He calls it a thought experiment, and he calls it a thought experiment, and he it's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Like, he tells this story like it's some horrible, tragic story that matches up with what's happening to Lauren and is the freaking most bizarre thing. I have to pay yes, thought experiment. I got to play the thought experiment because I've never in my life imagined that you could compare this to that. John is blowing this whole thing out of proportion so big. 143. Okay, wait, I'll pop back over to Joe Schmoe and his schmucky comment, and then we'll do that, a thought experiment. 143, she said. Okay, 143. Okay, 143.
I'm your child and I'm in prison. Why are you scamming me?
Saving for a trip to Vegas.
So they were probably just comfy, and she slipped her shoes off and then went to go take a picture of her friends.
Yeah.
But Queen, that's the body cam right there. I just wanted to show the time.
Go ahead. I just put it up on. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, play it. And
you want to play
before you do, before you do, Brianna said maybe with the $5 sticker, maybe stop laughing in your host's face while she's speaking. Just a suggestion. All right, go ahead, baby.
Okay. I was just showing the timestamp, but we can play some of it.
Stop loss. We're on my vacation. We're out anti-stopping on this one. But okay. So tell me what. I don't obviously want to go to jail.
Right.
So I can be in my hotel room.
I'm out for a second.
And
now, hold on, Joe. Put yourself in Christina's position. How the fuck would you feel if we were on here watching you right now? And somebody walked up and took a picture of you, and they said, look at this. I've been being stalked by him. So what if Jinx went and made a video, a 9-hour video, and said she's being stalked by you? Because on the internet, you asked her to go to a bridge 2 years ago in a Delphi case that we don't know nothing about. You'd be embarrassed as fuck.
Thank you, Holly. I need to read this. Did we ever find out if Trisha Grifter, Megan Conn, Duty Ron, or Colby were in their chat last night? Seems awfully quiet, in my honest opinion. Thanks for getting the truth out, Kathy. Yeah, that was kind of weird. I didn't see them in the chat at all, and they were in the 9-hour chat. So I don't think she got bullied. I think she got called out. And I appreciate the super chat, Holly, very much. All right. Ruby, is this where it's coming? Is it coming? Is it coming here? You found the right spot? Let me get it. Go in here.
Yes, I would. If I could cross my legs like she has her legs crossed, then I would be okay with that.
Well, I mean, you kind of experienced it a little bit because you didn't like that people were insinuating that you were creepy for taking pictures. Right. And you kind of got that too a little bit. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
like
embarrassing.
that.
It feels very embarrassing.
Right.
So let me ask you, you really didn't want this to come out that you were the picture taker. Megan kind of leaked it and you gave her the shh last night. So is this kind of, you're doing cleanup tonight? I mean, I'm being honest.
Because I feel like you're nervously
I
laughing.
don't-
I feel like the
no,
laugh
I don't.
isn't really laughing in our face. I feel like it's a nervous laugh, like, oh, fuck.
I don't
know what
want to
to do
do cleanup. I want to be honest about all of this. Like I want
Okay.
all of the honest facts to come out. Like I'm a part of like 1% of the honest facts to come out, and everybody else can be the other 99%. But I'm not doing cleanup. Like I have.
Well, I mean, you gave.
I have
last night,
3,500 subs. I have
No.
3,500
Not
subscribers.
cleanup. No, cleanup for your friend, not for yourself. Not for yourself. None of this
Yeah.
is about you guys. This is all about her.
I'm nobody. Like I literally am nobody in the
Right,
YouTube
you're in this-
community.
I mean, you really
we're
like
saying
you
you are
literally
not,
became.
You're a
Sorry,
part of it.
Queen.
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
You
I'm sorry.
literally like are doing this for someone when you say you had like 3,500 subs that copyright struck you. Like that doesn't you don't get any pettier
Isn't
than
that
that.
crazy? Right?
Well,
Isn't
it's
that
petty.
crazy?
It's petty. So
Yes.
what she's doing right now is petty as well. But now she's taken it into the legal system, which we are not cool with.
I will hear that petty argument and I will hear that legal argument, and I will not disagree with it yet because I don't know all the facts. But you're presenting me with facts that I have to consider.
But Lauren didn't
You do.
present you with any facts?
Say that again.
Lauren didn't present you with any facts?
No, I presented my own facts. I took my own pictures.
But she told you there was a restraining order and you didn't say, whoa, wow,
Yes.
why?
Oh, that's correct. Yes, that is
Have you-
correct.
I mean, have you ever heard the term mind your own business? I'm not being rude, but I mean, it would say.
Yes, Lauren copyright struck him. He says it at the beginning of this, like he didn't like her when he first met her because she cut the line at Delphi and then she copyright striked him. And he had to go back and forth with her to fight the copyright. And then the last response that she would have done, she didn't. She dropped it because she knew he didn't really copyright strike her. It's a bully, intimidation, nasty move on a tiny creator. So, I will continue.
Gave you a lot of grief in the future, really. I mean, you didn't even know if this girl was doing what she was accused
funny
of
you
doing.
say that. Oh my God, that's so funny you say that because my inner voice totally told me that.
Introducing the new ESPN Fox One Bundle.
I know people need their ads, but I should go ad free. I should buy.
Free radicals are everywhere. Protect yourself against them with Palm.
I might have to pay for
Like
inner voice.
No ads.
Yes, my inner
You don't
voice
listen.
totally told
You
me.
should listen to it.
No, I should.
It's that conscious voice like Lauren has.
I think like also you kind of put yourself like, you know, a lot of Lauren's statements were talking about whisper campaigns and pictures taken and rumors spreading. And I'm, you know, I mean, like that was the definition of her kind of like what stalking would be. And isn't it kind of like you guys are kind of doing the same thing?
And then the 7 gatherers and dark.
But it's also the same thing that
I do.
another channel is doing to me.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Like that's considered like if you consider that stalking, didn't you just kind of do stalking on another person?
No, I did not. I did not stalk anybody else.
Well,
I
I'm
took
saying
pictures. I
if
took
you-
I'm going to tell you something right now, Joe. If that was my daughter, I'd probably be contacting the Popo and trying to get the camera footage to see if you followed her around. Because that's it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable at least.
Now it's deadly silence. But anyway, always like that dead silence at the end.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, man, I mean, I think you put yourself in a bad position because, like, you thought you were doing a nice thing. You said, "Oh, I'm helping out a friend." You know, this lady, she's telling me this person's a stalker, so I'm evidencing this, and now you're put in a position where you are. It seems like you did not look into this at all, and you kind of put yourself in a.
I did look into it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not immune to putting myself in a bad position. Like,
no, I mean,
but you didn't
I'm
look
still
into
an idiot. I am an idiot. Like you can criticize me 100 ways to Sunday.
Joe, did you
that-
take pictures anywhere?
I know. I got rid of all my expenses because I'm on a leave from work, and so it's state disability money, so it's not my full check. So I'm like cutting corners right now. But since you guys gave me super chats, I will do premium this month for this. I will start it tomorrow. Thank you. I will. I promise. I'll use it for that. Because it is annoying, the ads. And I like to listen to like meditation music and stuff when I'm falling asleep, and I play it on YouTube, and then the freaking commercial, like, oh, wake up. So it's time to get premium. I have YouTube TV. I wish it would come with the premium for YouTube, because that's the TV I have is YouTube TV.
Or else other than the bar of this girl?
Of this girl? No. Of
Not of
Politan? Yes.
No. I mean of Christina.
No, never.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to contact Vinnie Politan and discuss it with
Oh,
him.
Jesus, beats him.
Joe, how did you look into it? If you didn't watch the videos, you didn't watch anything else, how did you look into it?
So I took the testimony of the people that I considered friends.
Correct.
At their face value. That's how I looked into it. They said somebody is violating a restraining order. We're taking pictures of it. And I said, I can take a better picture of it. That's it. Like that's point A to point B to point C. That's it. That's what happened.
Thank you. Thank you, Funda Cruz.
So
Appreciate
it sounds like
Thanks
you
for the
kind of
super
just walked into this a little bit.
Well,
and you didn't
beats
research
him
at all.
though. But beats him, and he also must have they must have had like a little powwow because you knew within 6 hours that this girl, and you're snapping a photo. That's a little off.
And Rowena said, there's a possibility if Christina does file a lawsuit against Lauren, you'll be subpoenaed.
You'll be called in. Yeah. Brianna said I may be wrong,
That
but
would
I've
be
been at it for 15
amazing.
years.
That would be amazing.
And then Lauren has clean hands
that's
yet
so
again.
nice. Thank you so much.
And Brianna says I may be wrong, but I've only been at it for 15 years. But isn't the first step in investigating something?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Very kind. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, Shirley. And Funda Cruz and everybody else that I thanked before. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get to this Joe Schmoe schmuck.
Investigating before
I wasn't
deciding what to
investigating.
do?
No, I wasn't investigating. I was documenting 100%.
I
I was
mess up?
documenting.
Okay.
That's all you
So,
got.
Rowena says we're sick of the judicial system being abused and weaponized. We are. We're fucking sick and tired of this shit.
Did I mess
Brianna
up?
would says maybe
Oh
style.
my
Okay,
God.
we already read that one. In the Pines, we read that one. I'm gonna try to get through these real quick. Petty, we read this one.
Ruby, where is it? I can't find it. Ruby said go to 143, but now I'm back to where we were, I think. Ay. Now, where am I? I'm at. Oh, I think I rewinded, huh? Hold on. I must have hit something. Time for Kathy to go to bed. Does anybody know exact spot where she calls her out? Where'd Ruby go? Help me. We're back to where I was. All right, try to find that spot again. It's where Jay's like, hey, you said you went from place to place to place. Okay. All right, I'm going to let it go because I want to play that part. No, forward it. Okay, forward it. To where? I'm at 2. I'm at 2 right now. At the 2 hour
They say
mark.
the edge is an endpoint, but what if the edge grows with you? AI isn't here to replace creativity. It's here to remove the mundane, to help you create faster and work without limits. Micron Memory and Storage, unleashing AI for the future of personal computing.
I'm at, okay.
Welcome everyone to our Academic Achievement Awards ceremony.
I'm at the 2 hour mark right now on here. Back. All right, hold on.
Ceremony.
You promised. This is 142
Joe, I have a
right here.
question. Petty AF says,
Yes.
did you set Christina up?
Did I what?
Did
No,
you
we heard
set
this.
Christina up?
I didn't even know Christina.
I don't
didn't
think he set her up. I think he saw her there.
No, they were pointing her out to me, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. And
It's not there. There's no J there.
a lot of people have told her they were.
There's no J there.
1,000 views on it.
There's no J there.
Brought this on.
Moving
That
photo.
part they were.
That's a.
There's no J there. It's once J comes on.
Christina at all? Where they said, hey, this is.
At the bar that night, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Because Grayson was freaking out. Like, she was really freaking out. And I'm like, why is this chick freaking out?
Yeah, it's a little concerning.
Let's
Yeah,
figure
it
it
is
out.
very concerning the way Grayson was acting.
Hello, Jay.
Hey, B Tim, how are you?
Hey, Jay, what's up?
I'm good.
Jay,
Is my mic
what is-
okay?
Okay, this is when Jay
Oh.
came on.
Joe
Hi,
Schmoe here.
Hey, Joe Schmoe.
Hi.
I know. I wasn't
What
gonna
is up?
play this one though, so
What is
I
up? There's a
didn't.
lot that's up. No,
There's
there
a
is
lot going on, right?
Yeah.
So I
a lot.
watched your web sleuths last night, Joe. I never heard of you before then, so it's nice to meet you.
It's nice
But
to
I
meet
was,
you too.
I really was a little confused as to your involvement in this whole ordeal. So, like, was the tone at CrimeCon like, was
We heard all
everybody
this.
talking about this, or?
No. But
Sure.
What about Lori chasing crimes? Do you know her?
We heard all this.
Saturday? Was it Saturday and Sunday?
no, it was Thursday. Thursday was like the opening meet, and hey, we are going to intentionally go sit right next to the bar because honestly, that's the worst place to sit because it's so crowded and it takes you so
I
long
can't
to
believe we
get a
listened to
drink.
like almost all of this.
I have
So,
a question,
missing
Joe.
it.
What time do you think that was taken at on the 5th?
Hours, Jay. Okay, come on. Do you want me to spend 9
We
hours
did all this.
of my day?
Absolutely. in your host's face while she's speaking? Just a suggestion.
Oh, I can't.
All right, go ahead.
I can't
Go ahead,
find
babe.
it.
Okay. I was just showing the timestamp, but we can play some of it.
No, we did this. We did all of this. I can't find it.
Training
I'm
order.
giving up now.
We're taking pictures of it, and I said I can take a better picture of it. That's it. Like that's point A to point B to point C. That's it.
I can't find it. I can't. It's making me crazy now. It was the general area of which part? Yeah, it's Queen Bee's Live. And I really wanted to know when Joe Schmoe said we moved from place to place to place. And Jay was like, wait, what? You moved from place to place to place? And that's what I was trying to find. And it was Queen Bee's. But let me go. If somebody, I don't know. Ruby said it's at 1:43. It's just before he leaves. Okay, then I'll move forward. Okay, let's go forward. It's before Joe leaves. Okay. When does Joe's still there.
Self in this position where you kind of put you.
I'm picking up what you're laying down, Queen. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. So we moved closer
There
and
we
we
are.
moved closer and we moved closer. And when I took that picture, it was probably within about
Found it.
a half hour of when we had sat down in those seats.
Okay, because like according to Christina's the people she was with, the lawyer named Lori Hellis, they had been sitting over there for a while. So it's curious to me that your group, because you obviously weren't sitting with them when you took the photo. I guess Queen was asking, did you get up to go take that photo? Because
I did.
Clearly
yes, I did. Oh yeah.
You're not
I
okay,
got
but
it.
listen, we've already asked you this and you lied to me. Okay. You didn't necessarily lie, you just kind of dodged it. So what I was asking you was how long were you sitting? If the hotel footage is going to match yours, how
Okay,
long
wait,
were you
hold on.
sitting with Lauren? And
Like way back in the corner. And then
It's right here.
And you keep on.
all right.
Yeah.
Can we talk again after I listen to the 9-hour live stream?
Sure.
Yeah, but you're not going to get a quilt from me. You can get it from me. Lauren.
I know
By the way,
there's a
no,
little part
Queen is
before
a
this.
quilting channel. She.
We don't need to talk
made
about.
him
I don't want these
replay-
people over there.
Before you go, Joe, I just have one question, and then I'm gonna hop down, Queen, because I feel like everybody's like there's a lot of people up here. But I just wanted to ask one question that I feel like someone answered or asked and you didn't answer. How long were you sitting where you were sitting before you took that photo? Like, were you there for hours? Were you there for a little bit?
No, it was an hour. So like I said, we were back in the bar, like way back in the corner, and
Who's
then we moved
we?
up.
Can you specify we?
I
mean,
you
I don't
really
need.
want-
I mean, I don't need
Yeah.
names, but like you, Lauren, and Grayson, and another, other people, or
and other people.
okay.
And
So you were
we
with
moved
them.
up.
Gotcha.
And we moved
Oh,
up.
right. So
And
that's
we
what I
moved
just
up,
asked you.
and
So if the
Yeah,
hotel
yeah,
footage
yeah.
comes out, is it going to
I'm
show
go-
that you were sitting with them?
I'm picking up what you're laying down, Queen. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. So we moved closer and we moved closer and we moved closer. And when I took that picture, it was probably within about a half hour of when we had sat down in those seats.
Okay, because like according to Christina's the people she was with, the lawyer named Lori Hellis, they had been sitting over there for a while. So it's curious to me that your group, because you obviously weren't sitting with them when you took the photo. I guess Queen was asking, did you get up to go
Right,
take
because
that
this is
photo?
the thing.
Because
I
you
did.
clearly
Yes,
were,
I did. Oh yeah.
You're not
I
okay,
got
but
it.
listen, we've
Oh.
already asked you this and you lied to me. Okay, you didn't necessarily lie, you just kind of dodged it. So what I was asking you was how long were you sitting? If the hotel footage is going to match yours, how long were you sitting with
Okay,
Lauren and Grayson before you got up and took that photo?
Probably about a half an hour in those particular seats.
Okay.
And then I got up and
And-
took that photo. Yeah.
why'd you guys keep switching seats?
Who switched seats?
You said you moved 3 times.
There it is.
Right. No.
We
Not only
move it. We
that, did you switch
probably
seats? You
moved
guys
like
moved
10
closer.
times because it's a busy bar, and you go and you move to the seats that are the best available. Like
Okay,
there's
back
nothing.
it up though, Joe. Back it up though.
Okay.
You said you just sat here and said to her when she asked you, you said we moved closer and closer and closer.
Right.
So you guys were the ones moving closer and closer and closer to Christina until you finally got up, got close enough.
No,
and took
not
that
closer
photo.
to Christina. I didn't even know about Christina.
Sorry, commercials.
Hello,
Chief
gorgeous.
Kathy.
You're listening to Worthy of You. It's never
Until they told you, oh my God, she's right there. She's right there. Right?
get a You never picture. met her.
Oh my
You've never
God,
seen
she's
her.
right there. Take that picture. Lauren told you, stop playing with me. Stop
I'm
right
trying
now,
to
Joe.
listen to
Stop.
everything. I'm trying to listen.
You might
Yeah,
want to
well,
rethink
I'm
the
telling
3
you, please,
times
I'm
you guys.
asking you, please stop playing games with me.
You might want to think back to the 3 times that y'all moved and think about who
It's-
initiated
okay,
those moves.
3
'cause
times isn't okay. Have you ever been to a bar and have you ever moved 3 or 4 or 2
No.
or 5 times?
Not
and
when I
said-
have a fucking restraining order against somebody and have them served,
Never.
and then I'm watching their every move at the bar at CrimeCon
Okay,
and have
that's
them
it.
removed. No.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point. But I
But the
didn't.
hotel footage might tell a different story too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's watch that. I would love to watch that.
That's odd.
What's odd?
That
And
that a woman would get a restraining order on someone and know that that woman can stay in the hotel area and keep switching seats 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it's called
just
weapon.
stay and put.
It's called
So when
weapon.
people were saying, did y'all set her up?
Wait.
Did y'all set her up? That's
So I was told that Christina literally got up to take a photo for like 2 seconds. 2 seconds. And they were there for about an hour or more before Joe Schmoe and his camera and Lauren and Grayson got that close. And so if she only got up for 2 seconds, come on. They were waiting to snap that picture. As soon as she moves to go to the bathroom or something, they wanted a clear picture of her. I'm sure this is what it looks like to me. They wanted a clear picture of her being up close to them. They couldn't get a good picture from a table that was over there, but as soon as she got up, it was perfect opportunity. So Joe must have been sitting there waiting for that opportunity. You can't tell me they weren't. Absolutely. And I've also been told that her shoes were off because her feet were hurting, which happens to me all the time. If you wear nice or new shoes, I've done that a million times, taking my shoes off at a bar or restaurant when I'm sitting there, especially if it's casual and you're hanging out for a while. All right. So do you want to hear more of Joe, or should I go back to, before we end, back to the thought experiment? Let me know. And Christina was told, you can be in the bar, in the hotel, just don't go past the CrimeCon arch place. More Joe. Okay. We'll finish up with them. I think it's close to done. Yeah, it was more comfortable, like a couch area.
That's what they meant.
Yeah, it's called weapon.
Did y'all continue to keep moving closer and closer and closer to her until y'all were within 500 feet, actually within 15 feet, and then snapped a photo?
And boom, she got up to take a picture and she was nailed.
Oh my God, she is within 500 feet
That's
of the
fucked
order.
up, man.
Get
Wait
a
till she
photo,
goes in the
call the police,
bathroom.
get a photo, have her removed.
And you've never
up.
met her, and you don't even
Fucked
know
up.
what she looks like.
No, I
Stop
didn't.
it, Joe.
I
Stop.
didn't know what she looked like.
Who was she taking a picture of then?
Lied to 10,000 fucking people. She had 10,000 people in that chat. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking wow.
Okay, well, ask me a question that's relevant that I can answer because
You've
I
already
can
buried
tell
your
you.
goddamn self 6 feet. I mean, we already know it.
How did you know Joe? How did you know the person you took a picture of was Christina?
Ding, ding, ding.
It was told to me by a third party.
Third party meaning
Grayson's always that third party, poor thing.
Always, every
Yeah,
time.
man.
No wonder she needs those anxiety meds. Fuck, I would too if I was stuck in this shit show.
Yeah, this is fucked
And then
up.
guess what? Lauren gets to go on our Patreon and laugh. I'm grateful for my stalker. I'm thankful. Yeah, shit.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
so-
I got you 400,000
so just-
views on your channel.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
And Joe,
Just tell me
Joe,
how. Just
God damn,
yeah.
man.
the person who
My
can
opinion,
do a
I'd be
quilt
thankful
for
too.
you is Lori. Lori, the chasing what, Jay?
Chasing Justice, Lori Hellis.
She quilts. She has True Crime Quilt Guild. So she can do you a quilt after your 9 hours of watching. That's your punishment.
Okay. I will.
You better okay that with Lori.
I will do whatever punishment is due to me, and I appreciate.
I don't think that would be
you all
punishment. I
having-
think that would be enlightenment, actually.
Yeah,
it could be. Yeah.
Do
All
you
right.
realize that like she basically weaponized her RO? She knew she was in
Moments
the
in
bar and
training,
then she
excellent
particularly moved closer to that person and then tried to have an innocent person arrested so that she could, because she had her fifis hurt. Do you realize that?
You don't realize you were complacent in that?
Do you know that ROs are on someone's record for their entire life? And it's
They can
serious.
fuck their entire life up.
Postcards lost along the way. I'm going to say this because I wanted to ask this. She said, "Are you LDS?" I was going to say, "Are you LSD?" Kind of the same, but are you LDS?
LSD.
Listen,
I'm on acid, bro. I'm totally on
I have
acid.
I have my magical underwear on right now. What are you
There's your
talking
answer.
about? I'm ready. I'm definitely undercover morning person.
I don't know why they're asking that, but
No, I'm not LDS.
I don't
Good.
know. It's irrelevant. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of good LDS people.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. You
I don't know. It's
You gotta make that
somebody
clear.
asked. I
There's
think it was
every
like
religion
in
has
the
its
Well,
chat.
that was
and
in my
most of it's
opinion,
good.
and I'm biased.
Okay, I think that's the end of Joe,
Okay,
right?
so Tim, you have been the most reasonable person in this discussion. How can we wrap
What?
this up?
What?
in a-
I'm offended.
I am too. Yeah, no.
There we go. Good move, sir.
Damn it, Joe Schmoe. What the hell?
How can we wrap this up productively? Like for real. I have enjoyed being on here, and I will take all of the critical.
Well,
I have
things
an
that
idea.
come to me.
Start
Okay.
with the 9-hour live.
Yep.
And go from there.
Okay.
You have Queen's email. She'll email you, and then you can come back.
Yeah,
Yep.
we
Okay.
said
We
Let's
can
do that.
do a part 2, and then
All
that
right.
way we kind of will be able. Yeah, that's good. That's
you know.
All right.
As
Has
long
he
as
watched
Queen
it?
invites me.
You're invited every time, Jay. Every time.
I'm kidding.
Miss Matthias, who suggested the 3 moves was Joe at Delphi. Yes, Joe was at Delphi. He was at. That's how him and Lauren met. They met when she cut in line in front of him, and then they became acquaintances / friends after the fact.
We became enemies at first.
Well, and you ought to take that pattern into
People show you who they
consideration
are.
because first she cuts in line. It's cold. You're cold too. And then she puts a copyright strike on you.
She don't.
And you come back for more.
I do. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Well, they have a question. Joe in the Pine says, so you knew who Christina was, right? Because you were at Delphi, and she was at Delphi with Lauren. So
Nope. I do not know. I
Oh.
did not know Christina at all. Like,
oh, you
when I
didn't
went
meet her.
back-
Okay.
No,
okay.
when I went back and watched Lauren's
Be careful.
take of the sentencing, Lori Vallow Daybell sentencing, I was there. I was running my mic. I had a hot mic too, but Lauren Crime. Listen to me. I'm like British. Lauren Crime.
Oh, you
Law
mean
and
what?
Crime.
What?
Yeah.
Right.
They had a hot mic and they caught me in the background of that, but I didn't catch it. So no, I didn't know her at that point in time, but that has become a thing. So whatever y'all want to do with that, you can do with that. But I wasn't there. I mean, I was there, but I didn't
What
pay
did you
enough
say on the hot
attention.
mic?
You can hear it. You can actually hear me talking in the background on the hot mic. Like, I'm not even kidding. You can hear me. And it's
What you talking
nothing.
about?
I'm talking with my friend about just like setting up. Like, we're not talking about anything case.
All right, I'm over Joe. You guys, can we be over Joe now? I heard the part I wanted to hit. Here, I want to play before I go because my dogs are going to pee, and this is like a really long live. This is like I'm being like one of those regular streamers here. But I want to play this nonsense about this thought experiment. It is so freaking bizarre. Let me find it. Give me a second. All right, let me find it. I gotta go to where I wrote the timestamp. Maybe I'll get my timestamp right over here. Hopefully. Keep going, keep going. Okay, here we go. Share this tab. After the commercial. There's a lot of commercials on freaking YouTube. Like, it's crazy how many there are now. Oh, interesting. Not again. Hold on. No sound again? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me take them down and bring them back up. Last time I took them down and put them back up. It's called difficult research. Yes. Okay, tell me if the sound's back now. Thought experiment. Thought experiment. Is it back? Is it back? Still? Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to answer a StreamYard today and tell them that something was wrong with their stream. You can hear me, right? So let me take them off and go back up. Let's take them down. No sound. Okay. How about me? Can you hear me? You hear me. You couldn't hear them. But when we were with Joe, you could hear them. Right? You could hear this. Right? Okay, can you hear that? Okay. Now, let me go back. Could you hear Joe? Okay, so let me go back to the knuckleheads. All right, tell me if you can hear them. Okay, hold on. Okay, how's the audio? No? Can you hear them? No sound. Okay. How about now? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close that channel completely and then go back to YouTube. You could hear Joe, unless they have some control over us not being able to hear from the HTC end. I don't know. Weird. Okay, hold on. I closed YouTube completely. I closed YouTube completely. Oh, disconnect my earpods? Is it only going, maybe it's only going to my earpods. All right, let's just take my earpods off. Let's try that. Last time. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties tonight. Yikes. Okay, hold on. Earpods are off. I don't know what sound I got. Let me go to my settings just to make sure. Audio is going to be my MacBook. Okay. Mic is going to be my Yeti. To go away. Not my... Oh, it switched over from my mic to my earpod mic for some reason. That was weird. Okay, my audio maybe got weird. Okay, last time, guys, I will try to do this. Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to history.
And having said that, I think it's...
Okay, hold on. Yeah, probably because everything got switched over. My computer thinks it knows more than me. You could hear John? Okay, sorry. Okay, good. All right. I just think this is the weirdest thing, and I want to know what you guys think about this thought experiment that he brings into this situation. Kitty Cat's here now, too.
If we're going to talk about the psychology of stalking, there's some elements here that there's been some research on stands that we need to talk about. So some of the elements that they found that create stands that engage in this type of celebrity worship or even fangirl people at a lower level like you. They found that an insecure parent-child attachment is typically common in stands. They found that parental absence, so not even abuse, not neglect, not childhood trauma, just parental absence. So one parent, one or the other, or both parents can be absent more than usual. The presumption here is obviously that if a so much.
Yeah.
But we talked about recently the psychology of stalking. We've talked about the research on that. We've talked about Malloy's chart, types of stalkers, stalking criteria, definitions. One of the big issues out there, in addition to all that, one of the big issues out there is one of the arguments for the TikToker, for the stalker, is that it's free speech, right? This is probably the biggest argument. Well, it's free speech. This is just Mean Girls. Free speech, Mean Girls. Who cares? Mean Girls are Mean Girls. That doesn't mean you should get a stalking injunction. Don't weaponize the legal system. Stupid.
Catfight.
Catfight.
That's how John talks when he's not on camera. It's like, Lauren, what's up? No, just kidding.
One thing that philosophers do, that, you know, since I was majored in philosophy as an undergrad, one of the things I always loved about philosophy, even back when I was an undergrad, which
getting his undergrad at Princeton, might I add, winning the thesis award. I know that you always underplay, and at this moment, now that people are trying to mock your education, I'm going to own it. He's brilliant. Scholarship. Valedictorian. Go ahead.
There's this argument about free speech, and as a matter of fact, in the TikToker's attorney's objection, that was the heart of it.
Yeah.
This is free speech. Who cares if she says that you want to have non-consensual relations with your brother, right? Who cares if she's threatening to harm your business? Who cares if she's reaching out to everyone in your business contacts and trying to ruin you and damage you? None of that matters because this is free speech. So, you know, one of the things philosophers like to do is we like to think about thought experiments. And I came up with one.
Okay, a thought experiment. Okay. For all of us at home, including me, I'm at home. A thought experiment with Dr. John Matthias.
Thought experiment.
PhD. All right.
And the reason we present thought experiments is because the reason philosophers do thought experiments is because they're trying to figure out kind of the boundaries around an issue, right? And whether by going through a thought experiment, you can ask questions about whether this is free speech, whether it's not, right? I'm presenting a hypothetical, but I think you could see this easily as being real. So in my thought experiment, there's a woman, Sylvia, and Sylvia has a daughter named Becky.
Okay.
And Becky's best friend is someone in school. They're adolescents.
Okay.
They're both 16 years old. Becky's best friend is Victoria.
Okay. Becky and Victoria.
Yeah. And Victoria happens to be the captain of the volleyball team. She's very well liked.
Is she taking notes on this story? This thought experiment story? What is this? Homeschooling time? Are we all home being homeschooled right now by Dr. John? What the heck? What the actual heck? All right. What? I don't even understand what's happening. But this story really doesn't make any sense when it comes to Lauren's issue with Christina.
She's considered to be one of the more attractive girls in her class, which is, I think, sophomore, junior years in high school.
So, I'm back on the app.
I thought you were done meeting people online.
Never again. I meant Zillow. Look at this cutie. And it's in budget.
Check out that bathroom. Get ready with me.
construction, it's very important to have an attention to detail. Las Vegas climate.
They have their show set to a lot of.
But Becky and Victoria have a falling out. And Becky's very angry at Victoria because Becky wanted Victoria to help her join the in crowd, and Victoria was kind of on the fence. She didn't really know how to do it, but she was happy to help her. But Becky thought it wasn't enough.
Okay.
Becky felt like that she was being shunned by Victoria in certain areas, and that Victoria could have helped her more to become more popular.
Okay.
So Becky goes home to her mother, Sylvia, and Becky says, "Mom, I'm really hurt. I just got shunned. I just got rejected by my best friend, Victoria, and I don't know what to do, and I don't want to deal with her anymore, and I'm done with it." And Sylvia says, "You know what? I love true crime. There's this raging debate online now about a stalking situation, and everyone says it's free speech, and I agree it's free speech. And you know what you should do, Becky? You should open a TikTok account, and you should target Victoria. And what you should do with your account is you should try to harm her and ruin her life as much as you can, because that's perfectly acceptable under free speech. And what I recommend you start with is that you start with a post that you want to come back to, by the way. You want to repeatedly come back to this post, but you start with a post about how Victoria engaged in non-consensual contact with several of her younger siblings. And Becky says, "Oh, that's great. That sounds great. I hate Victoria. I want to start this TikTok. I want to really hurt her." So she posts the first TikTok in a video of Victoria engaging in non-consensual relations with her younger siblings. Goes viral.
Please
Victoria's
explain how
really
this
hurt.
matches their story.
People believe it. People start shunning Victoria. People start avoiding her. None of it's true, by the way. But Victoria becomes a bit of a laughingstock. People are talking endlessly behind her back about the supposed non-consensual contact that Victoria had with her younger siblings. Victoria is so upset by this, and she's receiving so much mockery at school that she has to, within a year, she has to leave the volleyball team, and she leaves school to be homeschooled by her mother. Becky continues because Sylvia, her mother, says, "You know what? You should post as much as you can. Post every day. Go back to the post about non-consensual contact, about Victoria being an abuser. Go back to that regularly, but post other stuff. But now post her dropping out of school to be homeschooled and how only losers do that. Now post that she wasn't strong enough to stay in school, that she wasn't strong enough to stay on the volleyball team. I want you to just mock her because free speech." They graduate from high school. Victoria does it obviously not in the actual school. She does it from home. And when she graduates, Becky posts that homeschool doesn't really count, that even though she passed all the accreditation exams and did what she needed to do, that Victoria's a loser because she had to be homeschooled and she couldn't stand the fact that she couldn't deal with the truth that she was in fact an abuser. But of course, Becky's posting all kinds of other things, like she says, "I'm going to burn your flipping kingdom to the ground." She's saying she's going to expose her. that because she was her best friend, she has all these private text messages and emails that she's going to put out there to harm her. She continues posting every day.
Have you seen anything like this at the drugstore? No, you haven't. Look, Optic is making the most beautiful.
Oh my God, sorry. The cat almost knocked everything over. I'm laughing so hard. Okay, your comment is hilarious and true. Look at all the bad things that happened to made up Victoria. This just terrible. This is all because C joked about Lauren essaying her brother to get sperm. Right, seriously? Made up Victoria. Like this, I just don't even understand. Okay, I will continue because I gotta go soon.
Years pass. Still posting. Victoria gets married. She sees that Becky sees that Victoria's posted photos of her marriage. So she mocks her marriage. She mocks her husband. She talks about how ugly he is, what a loser he is, how he has no future, what a loser she is. She continues to say that whatever Victoria has in her life, she's going to take it away and she's going to burn her kingdom to the ground. Victoria finally has kids. When her first child is born, Becky posts that she believes Victoria is now going to abuse her child. She posts that her children are losers. She posts that CPS should become involved because, of course, she's an abuser and the child are going to be taken away. So why doesn't CPS jump in now? And she can do all this because, of course, free speech. She can say whatever she damn well pleases, right? Free speech. Victoria has another child. A couple years later, same thing. She has another child. Same thing. Becky keeps posting that her children are going to be sexually abused. She keeps posting that Victoria is an abuser, that CPS should get involved, take her kids. She won't stop with that theme. Victoria is struggling. This is taking a toll on her. It's taking an immense toll on her. So finally, Victoria and her husband decide that they're going to pursue a stalking injunction with the court. The initial injunction is granted, but they go to court. And basically the judge says, this is just a cat fight between two now adults.
How do I speed it up? How do I speed it up? How do I speed up the sound? Does somebody tell me? Because that's a good idea. How made up children does Victoria have? I don't know how to speed up the sound, and I know I've seen it before. It has to be right on the video, right? I'll keep going until I figure it out.
Adult females, but this is a cat fight between adult females and, of course, free speech, because you know what, Victoria? I don't think Becky should be silenced. I don't think anyone should be silenced. So just basically take it.
Found it.
And even though, Becky's a little bit of a mean girl, maybe she's cyberbullying you a little bit, I think that stalking is just...
Found it.
Trends come and go, but what works stays. At Bragg, we've never had to chase trends since we were
showing up at someone's home with a gun, and she hasn't done that. She hasn't approached you in your car. She hasn't approached you. They live in the same town. She hasn't approached you at the grocery store. She hasn't approached you anywhere. She hasn't physically harmed you. So the judge actually goes on record and says, you know what? This stalking injunction is dismissed because, quote, this reminds me of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So guess what? Go back to your life, just grin and bear it and carry on. Victoria has been supported by her husband for most of her life, but she finally decides, after having 3 children, all of whom are targeted by the stalker, by Becky, she decides to get a job. She goes back to school. She gets certified as a teacher. She starts a job. And what happens? Becky starts posting again about how Victoria is an abuser and that she's going to harm the children in her class because she's teaching in elementary school. And then she needs to lose her job. Victoria does lose her job because of these posts. The posts are persistent. They're repeated. Victoria has told Becky numerous times, please stop. Please leave me alone. I feel threatened. I feel harassed. But the court will not protect her.
You guys are killing me.
She's forced out of her job. She's forced to resign because of all the rumors and gossip about her being an abuser. So what does she do? She finds another job. This time she goes to the local community center. She loves working with kids. She's got 3 kids. That's her passion. But guess what? Becky's persistent. Becky takes back to social media and tells the community center, you are an abuser. You should not be working at this community center. You're putting all these kids at risk. Lo and behold, Victoria loses her position once again. Because Victoria doesn't know what to do, because she still loves kids, she starts a YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel it pertains to children's education. She reads books, children's books. She's just doing anything she can to help kids. But guess what? Becky thinks that's absurd because there's no proof of this whatsoever. But Becky decides, of course, that she shouldn't have her YouTube channel or any way to make a living because she's an abuser. So she starts posting relentlessly on her TikTok, again, about Victoria and her abuse. An online mob flocks to her channel, which is starting to get some momentum finally. And she's canceled. Not only is she canceled, but her friends, her coworkers, her colleagues in the community, the people at the school where she taught, they all turn against her. So finally, after all these losses and all this trauma and this rumor that she can't dispel, even though she said repeatedly, I did not do that. Even her siblings have said, she did not do that. It doesn't matter. She's continued with this lie over and over again. It's called the sleeper effect. If you tell a lie enough, over and over again, people believe it.
People start to believe it, which is actually what's happened.
That's what's happening with you. People are telling lies over and over, and people are believing it. So finally, after years, and by the way, so Becky meets with her mother for lunch, and she tells her mom, Sylvia, she said, Mom, that was great. You know, you allowed me to see quite clearly that because of free speech, I have a lifetime pass. I have a lifetime ticket to just ridicule and threaten and harass this friend of mine who didn't do enough for me and who rejected me. And so she thanks her mom and says, wow, this has just been great. Free speech is so great. I love it. And oddly enough, Sylvia says at this lunch, Sylvia says, you know, I've been watching this and, you know, maybe it's too much. Maybe you've gone too far. Maybe you should really rein this in a little bit. But Becky says, no, Mom, you taught me free speech. Like I can do anything. I can say any damn thing I want. I'm not stalking her. I haven't showed up at her home with a gun. I haven't followed her in a car. I haven't followed her at the mall. I haven't followed her in a restaurant. I've done nothing wrong. I can say whatever I want. Free speech. So the way this ends, and I don't know the final ending, but the way this story ends, the way this thought experiment ends, is that she wakes up one morning in her bed. Distraught.
John's holding back the tears.
And she tells her husband that she can't keep doing it. Okay, let's take this out. The way this ends is Victoria is in her bed, crying. She wakes her husband up and she tells him that she can't keep doing it. She's decided that she can't go any further. And she's thinking about herself. What happens after that? I don't know. That's the end of the thought experiment.
That's it. That's the end of the thought experiment. No, hold on. Can you hear me okay? Am I in fast mode? I don't want to be in fast mode. All right, let me know if you can hear me. I think that I'm not in fast mode. And I don't know what happens after that because she's live and she's still sitting right next to me, but she did wake up rocking in her chair and now I'm crying because my made up story is actually my wife and Becky is Christina, but this story spans years and children and what in the actual hell? I had to listen to that with you guys because I was driving in my car today and I was like, hold on. What is he talking about? Because first I didn't hear about the thought experiment. And then he goes into this whole thing about the thought experiment. I rewound and I was like, what? So I listened to it and I was like, what the hell? And I was in my car. I'm like, is he crying over this made up story? What the heck? What the heck? Oh my gosh. Like, seriously. How insane. I mean, how insane. Okay, so story time's over, and that's why I made my TikTok about story time. Or my TikTok, my my thumbnail on my video. This is the first time you heard it. I can't listen to them directly. No, I mean, I just was like, what in the heck? Because I was trying to find the spots. Hi, Michelle. I was trying to find the spots that I thought I would have some comment on. And that one was just like, I just was like, I can't believe he's actually telling this story about children being all that stuff and bringing this as an example, this thought experiment that has anything to do with Lauren. And then he gets the part where he wakes up and she's crying and she says, I can't do this anymore. And then he starts crying. And then he's like, I don't know what happened after that. Because she's alive and she's sitting next to you. You want to know what happened after that? Your podcast goes down the drain. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, this is the longest. I'm not doing 9 hours. I better get out of here because I don't even want to do half of that. And we've been here a long time. So 3 children was specific. Yeah, it's so weird. John cried at his fictional tale of Victoria and Becky and Becky's mom. Unbelievable. All right, everybody, I got to go. My dogs are like pacing the floor. They got to go potty. I need a glass of wine, I think, after that. And I will see you guys soon. And I appreciate you all. And thank you, everybody, Shirley, everybody for the super chats and the gifts and everything. It was fictional crying. I don't know. You guys are hilarious. I appreciate you all. I really do. And please stay safe and stay well. And we'll be back soon. And remember, this is about speaking out as a creator who doesn't want this to be a thing in the community. And we need to stand up for freedom of speech. And we cannot let bullies think they own true crime community or the internet. And it's important to me. And it's important to me for you guys, for this community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all. Stay safe and stay well. And I will see you soon. Bye.